Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 5 of Succumbing. If I sound a little bit disheveled, it's that I've been hearing Ori using the fart soundboard for like the last 30 fucking minutes.
I'm making a heart with my hands.
I'm sure you are. Alright, let me just ask you real quick then. Ori, do we have any announcements we want to pass by the people real quick?
What week is this coming out? This is coming out on the 27th. No.
Alright. Good to know. Ori of the future, cut that out. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit disheveled right now. Okay, I'm gonna be fine. Whew. Alright. Cut this out too. But yeah. In that case, no announcements, no stuff like that. If you guys are ready, we are just gonna go right into it.
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. And I guess that's a yes from you guys, you other two as well?
Yes!
Alright!
I can't play the fart soundboard anymore because we're all recording, but I was about to be like, oh my god, why are you saying something that I was gonna play it?
Alright.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But yeah, I'll say that. Give you guys a quick recap about what happened last session. You guys were able to get out of your situation of being followed by the Austrian police after the scene that happened at the motel that was between Austria and Italy. And eventually, you guys had arrived at the foot of the mountain that had the Ouroboros Mount Resort leaning on top of it. You spent the better part of a couple of days traveling up the mountain, just taking some time to follow an unofficial trail that was going straight up before following an abandoned road. And while doing so, you had a couple of events going on. For example, Marsibil was able to show off that she actually seems to have some proficiency with some arcane arts, as she was able to cast a ritual spell that involved small rocks that made for a sort of, I wouldn't say barrier, but a sort of like line that you guys could use in order to find out whether or not people were heading onto your campment or not. And we also found out a bit more about her past and why she wanted to head to the resort in the first place. On top of that, you also had to have that talk with Adrian in order to discuss how he did have to eventually leave the group, despite the objections that he had about how dangerous the mission was, after seeing what had happened at the motel, and wanting to make sure that Eddie and the rest of you were okay, particularly Eddie. But after getting a severe talking to by Jean-Marie, it just reinforced the fact that, yeah, he's going to go. And eventually, passing by an abandoned gas store, you guys saw as Adrian walked away. Finally, making your way up and further, you arrived in the evening towards what seems to be the Ouroboros Mount Resort, which at this point has been in complete disarray for a couple of decades now. And you were basically seeing it in some of its former glory, as it was in a snowstorm at night, but not wanting to necessarily make your way inside in the dark. You found a cave entrance nearby, thanks to Marsibil's knowledge on the tundra, and you guys slept the night there. In front of a large stone round door that has the crest of a raven in the middle, and surrounding it with a circle that seemed to be in some sort of flame or texture like that was made of blood. And you guys slept the night there, having some talks amongst yourselves, nonetheless including deeper explanations on why you're coming here, particularly between Jean-Marie and Eddie, as well as Jean-Marie and Marsibil having the chance to talk about the relationship, and getting the chance to agree that there could be potential for developments. Finally, as you all slept the night away, you came to, nothing had disturbed you, and you started making your way towards the remnants of the Ouroboros Mountain Resort in order to find out what is going on and really find out the bottom of this mystery. So, you guys are currently in front of the disheveled entrance. One door is still kind of on its hinges. It's definitely creaking at this point and doesn't actually like stay put, whilst the other door to the left is on the floor and completely broken. On top of you are just these broken down windows that used to be made of glass, that some of them are still like full, but they have been completely stained. Others are completely broken, and there's enough to be had in between. It definitely looks the part of an old hotel that has definitely have seen better days and has not seen any activity in a long time, as there are also plenty of parts of it that are snowed in. I suppose that the three of you make your way inside to go investigate?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my switchblade as we go in, just in case.
Alright. Jean-Marie?
I am also coming with.
Alright.
Let's go.
And I suppose you will as well, Marsibil, at this point.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. The three of you make your way inside, and as you do so, the entrance is rather large. From what you're able to get a look of it, it's what used to be this sort of like marble tile that was underneath you that at this point has been cracked and broken under wear. There are pieces that have gone out from the soil itself, revealing the wooden foundation that is underneath. And the complete entrance is an absolute mess. What used to be a reception, half of the table itself is broken, and the chairs themselves are either on the sides, all over the place, or broken into multiple pieces. There's what used to be a fireplace with some chairs that used to be to your left, but the fireplace itself has caved in, and the chairs themselves has also broken down due to time. In front of you are basically the openings to a hallway that is basically immediately to your left, that is going straight. There is also another hallway that is more to your right that seems to be making its way towards more of the direction to the right, and keeps has the same sort of length as the hallway that's leading to the front. And otherwise, there are a couple doors on both the left and the right side that seem to have different uses. Some of them have been broken down, some of them are still on their hinges, seemingly being rooms that could be interpreted as rooms that would have been used for storage, used for like janitorial use, stuff like that. And one of those doors also shows a stairway that is also to the right, that you can kind of see just from here that it seems there's also been some wear and tear and some stairs that have fallen down. As for the atmosphere itself, it is eerily quiet. There is no sound of animals or of wind or anything. It feels like as you make your way inside, it has become deafeningly quiet. And the only occasional sound you hear is something creaking or just something kind of like a door being slightly off its hinges and just doing a light sound from the wind.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, good question.
Let's leave.
No, yeah, true. I don't want to
Well-
be here.
We made it to the Ouroboros Resort. Now we can leave.
Bye, guys.
Mission
Bye, guys.
accomplished.
Guys, we don't really need our husband or answers or boyfriend or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. Let's drop by
We'll
the
get new
kitchen. I want
ones.
some cutlery first.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. I guess we just start moving in?
Mm-hmm.
You most certainly can.
Okay. I've put on the
Alright.
tense, scary music on my end, and I'm gonna get freaked out on this episode.
You'll be fine. But yeah, I'll say that you guys start making your way in. I'll say the first thing that definitely catches your eye as well as you're making your way in is that there's a slight smell as well to this place.
Oh, God.
Nothing too immediate, but you make your way inside and you can definitely tell there's a faint smell of rot and old decayed blood and gore. You don't exactly see from where at this point, but it is too pungent not to ignore.
Huh.
Currently, right now, the major places of interest that you guys can check out are the actual desk itself, which might have potentially more information. There's also the hallway that is immediately to the left of you guys that goes straight. There is another hallway that is to your right that goes in that direction as well that is also straight. And a couple of doors that are also to your left and your right. Some of them being more of just some simple uses, and one of them seemingly leading to a staircase. There's also the remnants of the fireplace and or the reception. You guys can explore if you want to.
Yeah, let's go.
Do we wanna look at the reception desk?
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Good.
Might be some useful stuff there.
Alright. I'll say that you guys make your way to the reception desk. At the reception desk itself, you can definitely tell the further damage itself that it has received. It seems that this break that has happened in there is not that of the usual break of decay over time, but rather some sort of impact. Because where the break actually is, there's a very sharp incline of the impact between the two areas of the desk that are broken, and underneath you guys is what. Sorry about that. Is what that you can definitely tell is like some sort of small impact crater, like something has been pushed down or slammed down onto this thing with immense strength, and you can tell from underneath is not only the wooden foundation, but some amounts of rock and snow that have been kind of caved in because of the impact. And immediately to your right, you can see what seems to be some old decayed documents and papers that have definitely stayed here for a very long time.
Can we look at the documents?
Sure. I'll say that for any of you that are checking these documents out, you can tell that these are ripped out pages of what seems to be some sort of ledger. Something that was taken in order to keep accounts of people coming in, coming out. And you can see that these definitely date back to the late 19th century. And as you're kind of looking through it, you can see like there's also these little notes that are written down here and there about certain particular people that come in and out. And you see some things on the lines of sometimes certain people will be described as being particularly paranoid, or some people will come in saying that they saw something within the mountains, and that the worker there just had to say the usual thing that they had to say, and say that it was probably just like some sort of like goat or other creature, or maybe it's like the famed Yeti or something like that. Just something that would sound touristy. And you can see that as you're kind of like checking out these pages more and more, you can definitely tell the occurrences of these happen more and more, and it kind of starts freaking out the workers here, as you can tell that the writing itself with the ledgers grows less and less. It grows less and less focused, and these people who are definitely working at these different shifts are more focused on just trying to like keep some semblance of order before you can see that the scribbles are eventually completely gone, and what remains is just these pages that have had some level of blood on them.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else you guys want to check out in the meantime?
I'll probably just say while all this is going on, Marsibil is just gonna keep a close eye on just the surroundings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, you know.
No, absolutely. I'll say that if you do that and just try to pay attention to your surroundings, roll me a spot hidden check.
Oh fuck! I gotta get my shit out. Hold on.
You are more than fine.
Amazing, brother.
Absolutely.
Pop off only on occasions, brother. Okay. Oh wait, wrong dice. Womp womp.
Oh no.
I was using a D20 there for a second, like wrong game.
Unfortunately.
No, I tried using a D100 in a D&D game the other day.
How did that go?
I noticed before I roll, but almost.
Hey, you're not gonna believe this.
What did you roll?
90.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Oh no.
Bad luck. Bad luck rolls are catching me up tonight.
I'll say, yeah. You look around. This is definitely a broken down hotel.
Dark as fuck. I can't see anything.
Yeah, try to find anything in particular that would catch you out of the eye. I will say that, like, you definitely give like a further look, and I'll definitely say that even if it is with a 90, you do definitely can tell that the punch smell seems to be from the upper levels.
Okay. So that's where the dead bodies are. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take a look around? I feel like Eddie's also kind of on edge, looking around too.
Sure. Also roll me a spot hidden.
Okay. Oh wait, I need to find out what my number is. 25. I'm really
25.
good at looking for things. No, that's my number. I need to roll. Okay, I got a 94. I don't see anything.
Nope, you also don't see.
Nope.
I'll say you also notice the pungent smell from upstairs, though.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything, but I kind of like look over at Marcy and kind of like wave my hand in front of my nose, like ugh. You know.
Mm-hmm. How do you react, Marcy?
Hang on. I was eating.
You're good.
What did Eddie say?
I didn't say
Eddie's
anything.
just waving,
I just looked at you and waved my hand in front of my nose, like P.U.
If you think this is bad, you should be a sailor.
I kind of nod. Eddie is making a good point not to talk because he kind of like progressively gets louder as he goes on.
Oh my god.
So he's gonna stay quiet.
Alright.
And that's gonna be his downfall because he's gonna get kidnapped and everybody's gonna be like, well, Eddie's just being quiet, and then actually he's been kidnapped. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No,
That definitely won't be a problem.
generally you make them walk like in front.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're either talkative and you get to walk in the back, or you're quiet and you walk in the front. That way,
Yeah.
you make sure no one's kidnapped.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, where do you guys want to go next? Do you want to check out the fireplace? You want to check out one of the two hallways, or do you want to check out the stairs?
Maybe hallways. Let's
Mhm.
go.
All right.
Dude, we're gonna go over and there's gonna be like 2 kids standing there like, come play with us.
Play with
Yep.
us, Danny.
And we'll be together forever. Boom. Line boom. For an ever. Boom.
Partners.
And ever. Sorry, Stanley Kubrick.
Amazing.
But yeah. All seriousness aside, I'll say that you guys make your way towards, I'll say the hallway that is immediately to the left. Passing through this little reception area, you make your way towards it, looking down and seeing what seems to be immediately a set of different hotel rooms, all identified from, on one end being odd numbers and the other one being evens, starting from 1. And as you're making your way through this hallway, I'll say that you definitely can get, like, as well, some of that pungent smell coming from what you can identify possibly being at the end of this hallway. As you can see that the decay has also made its way here, with the walls of paint that used to line these pieces of wood have definitely seen better days, and these doors themselves and furniture are just disheveled and broken down in all of different places. As you also make your way through, checking out through some of these rooms that have been empty and looted, I need the 3 of you to roll me a stealth check.
All right. This will only end so well.
Eddie gets a natural 100 and just starts going, well, guys, actually, I don't think I actually need to whisper anymore. And then we get jumped.
Oh, amazing! Amazing, brother.
I'm pretty sure I fail. I got a 41. I'm gonna use some. Do I have enough luck points? Yeah,
That
I have enough
depends.
luck points. What the hell? I can do basic math, guys. Okay, I'm gonna use 21 luck points to get down. I'm at 7 now. That's actually probably a really dumb thing to use my luck points on. I don't want to die. I'm using 21 luck points to get to a 20.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I am so sorry.
Well,
Uh,
it was good knowing you.
Jean-Marie, what did you roll?
D&D is taking its sweet time. Give me one moment.
You are more than fine.
amazing, brother. Pop off. Only on occasion.
That is a 2.
Ooh.
That's a 2?
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Um,
Good luck, Mark.
I'm gonna say, since that's very close to a 1 and being like an absolute critical success, I'll say that you guys are making your way through this hallway, and as you continue, Marsibil, you don't pay attention to where you're stepping, and you step on a particularly old and dry piece of chair. That, as you do so, you hear an immediately loud crunch sound emanating from Marsibil, and as you do so, you wait just for any sort of sound to come. And as you do so, you hear the sound of footsteps, some coming in normal pairs, but some of them being a lot faster than others. And Eddie, you dodge out of the way to go into a room, but Marsibil, as you're kind of wondering how exactly to get out of this situation, you're grabbed by Jean-Marie, who darts into another room as well and hides with you in a closet and makes sure that you are perfectly silent in order to avoid any sort of sight. And the 3 of you can hear as these steps have immediately gone louder and eventually have made their way into the hallway, as you can hear what seems to be the sounds of people mumbling words in a language that none of you recognize, and otherwise what seems to be the sound of like kind of like this pained panting, if you will.
Mm.
Like kind of like this.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Get him an inhaler.
Do y'all look to see
No.
what these people are doing? All right.
No? Are you kidding?
Ja-
I am
Javi.
holding my knife. In my chest.
Jean-Marie, Marcy, do you have a certain amount of curiosity you want to fill in?
I mean, up to you. I'm fair game.
Jean-Marie?
Mary,
Uh,
Mary, are you gonna look?
Hello?
Mari?
yeah, Mari?
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry I zoned out.
You're
So
good.
bad there.
It's all good.
You're good. What do you remember from me describing stuff?
I rolled a 2. And then I kind of...
All right.
You shoved me into a closet.
Yeah, you shoved Marcy in a
Oh my
closet in order
God.
to hide her from the sound of people coming in to
George, I was
investigate the
like,
sound.
oh, shoved me into a closet, yeah.
Shut up.
I can't believe this.
But yeah, and I'm just like Eddie has said no to see if what is investigating your guys' disappearance. But Marcy said it was fair game. So do you want to see
Yeah.
what's going on?
Do you want to be brave?
Sure.
All right. I'll say that you look like from the closet in order to see what's going on, and you too as well, Marcy. And the both of you look out to see what seems to be these two individuals that are wearing this set of like robes and furs in order to cover themselves from the cold, but that also have like these same insignias of this raven in the middle with this flaming circlet around them, and on top of that you see above the not above them, but yeah, I'll say yeah, above them. You see this thing that seems to be a mounted up amount of corpses that have been how to say sewed. There you go. That have been sewed and kind of like fixed up together in order to make these sort of like weird like dogs, if you will. Like
Mm.
basically it's kind of like a flesh golem from Dungeons and Dragons if the golem was a dog made out of human body parts and just giving this awful panting noises as it's just looking around with its dead eyes. And you can hear you can assume these cultists just speaking amongst themselves, trying to find where you are, and you see one of them like raises like a hand, uh, pulling sticking two of their fingers together. It's kind of doing like the Star Trek thing, but with it while when they do this, you can notice that like one of their hands is sewn together as well, and in the middle is this carved out symbol in their flesh that seems to be some sort of eyeball, and they like kind of wave it around, trying to find you guys. And a moment passes before they seem to look disheveled and start walking away.
What the fuck?
But yeah, it seems that you guys are free to go for now, but that you are definitely not alone.
What room did I run into?
You run into a separate room that was a bit north of the one that Jean-Marie and Marsibil are in.
Is there anything special in here?
I'll say that you look around in this room and you can definitely tell there is what seems to be the skeletal remains
Oh,
of some people that have died here. And
awesome.
yeah, and amongst them, you also see what seems to be one of these very same cultists that is just dead, lying there. It seems that they've been dead for a while. Their body has succumbed to frostbite, as you see that they don't have any necessarily huge necrosis on them, but it's still enough to tell that they've been dead for a while. And
Uh-huh.
on them, you can see these same robes and furs that you saw from the other cultists and their guard dog.
Yeah, I'm kind of holding my knife. I think Eddie has a fear of corpses, and I remember this. How does
Mm-hmm.
that fear play out? Would I have seen that as soon as I came into the room? Because I'm
I'll
trying to
say that you.
decide, is he more scared of the thing outside or more scared of the corpse? Probably more scared
Mhm.
of the thing outside.
Yeah,
So,
you didn't notice the thing outside just out of hearing like this weird panting. So you see the corpse on the inside, and I'll say that like uh, from the little tick that you've now had, seeing this corpse causes you 3 sanity damage.
ah,
But you take yourself a moment to breathe before you can calm down and kind of assert the situation, as you can tell that the others are gone. Uh,
oh,
and yeah, you can see that on them seems to be some sort of like, how do you say? There seems to be some stuff and some details on this cultist that you could potentially investigate
no.
if you want to try.
I want to get away from this corpse as soon as possible. I'll have Mercy or Jean Marie do it.
Alrighty.
I will say I'm now at 69 sanity points, so
Nice.
I'm gonna go look for the others. I'm gonna. Well, actually, no. I think Eddie's probably just gonna close his eyes because he doesn't want that thing to come back, and he's gonna wait
Hmm.
for the others to find him. So he's just gonna kind of like tremble in place, hold his knife, and keep his eyes closed.
Gotcha. All right.
So
In that case, I'm going to say for Jean-Marie and Marsibil, do you two make your way out of the closet just yet?
Hmm.
Jean-Marie?
Jesus Christ.
it's real cozy in here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice cozy closet. We're nice and safe.
Oh my
know.
god. I'm fucking final girling it up here in the mansion, and you guys are in the closet like, oh, sorry, Jean Marie. I grazed your hand.
15 minutes
My
in
hand.
heaven!
Oh my god, Eddie's in there having a breakdown over this corpse, and you guys are like, oh my god, I never noticed how soft your hands were. Fucking god.
Marsibil doing actually.
Oh my god.
Hmm. But yeah, Marcy will leave the closet.
All right. And you as well, Jean-Marie?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm staying here on my own. Yeah.
Totally. All right. In that case, yeah. I'll say that you guys make your way into the hallway, look around, and it seems that the cultists and the guard dog, quotation marks, are gone.
Good.
And you can see Eddie has made his way into the hallway, and he looks
Oh no, I
like.
didn't move.
Oh,
I'm
you didn't
still
move?
in the room. Yeah.
All right, yeah. You make your way out into the hallway, and you can tell that Eddie has not made his way out of the hallway just yet. You can probably guess he's still in the room that he hid himself in.
Let's go get Eddie.
All right. You two make your way in, and also notice the corpse that is right there in the room. That seems to be that of a cultist.
I'll kick it to the side.
All right.
Ready?
I think there's stuff on there that. Oh my god, I lost my accent. Sorry, I'm so scared. I think there's some stuff on that corpse that maybe would be useful. I don't know.
All right. Jean-Marie will examine it closer.
All right. I'll say you give a good look at the corpse itself. Amongst the things you notice, Jean-Marie, is that the robe itself of the robes and furs of this cultist have this sort of like light purplish to dark purplish traces of material on it. It kind of has a similar texture to marble, but not exactly. It seems that like at this first sight of it, it seems that like the strains of how like the black kind of like intertwined with the white and like marble, it seems like it's absent in this kind of like purplish substance, and instead of like that beautiful marbling itself, it's more like these holes that are inside of it that are different sizes and shapes. It's kind of like it has the texture of marble, but the look of a space rock.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I'll say that you also see immediately at its right what seems to be this sort of like serrated dagger that is kind of curved in a way to be it kind of curved like out of where the handle is supposed to be, and forms a blade that is, I'd say, roughly around like 8 inches like long.
Ooh, evil
So
knife.
that,
Should I
yeah,
take it?
you most certainly can if you want to.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm taking the evil knife. Sure.
All right. I'll say you grab the knife and uh I'll say that you pocket it. Anybody else wants to see anything else about this corpse?
All you.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. In that case, yeah. I'll say that you guys can make your way out of the room if you want to. You could also check out this room more. What do you guys feel like doing?
Do we want to go? Do we want to get out of here?
Hmm.
I'm gonna go, but literally, I have to go get dinner. I am terribly sorry.
You are fine.
Oh, good.
Go we.
Go eat.
Hmm. Well. Are we going to keep searching?
I mean, what? Did you see what was out there?
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
How do you feel about? Don't tell me what it was, because I honestly don't want to know. How are you feeling about continuing now that you've seen that? Because honestly, that kind of scared me shitless. Um,
Hmm. If we can leave, but if we can be quiet, then we might have a chance to explore other parts of the building.
okay.
All right.
Yeah. We just gotta. Okay. We just gotta make sure that we're watching where we're going. And let's try to stick together if we need to hide.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
Did you see which way they went so that we don't have to run into them? Hopefully.
I did see where they were going, right?
Yeah, you can see that they were heading their way down the hallway. It didn't seem like they were that focused on trying to find you guys at that point anymore, and seemed more focused on getting something else done. You guys could try to follow them if you want to.
No.
Let's go the other way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright.
Yeah, let's go that way.
Okay, okay. Oop, there you
Oh my god.
Alright. Sorry for the...
We could hear you in the room.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll say that you guys make your way out of the room and start making your way into this hallway itself. Do you guys want to go back to the lobby, or well, yeah, you said going the other direction. My bad.
Yeah.
When you get back to the lobby itself, where do you guys want to go next? Do you want to try out the other alley, not alley, the other hallway, or do you want to try out the stairs?
Do we want to try the other hallway just so that we have somewhere to duck into, just in case? Also, Zach, your audio is kind of quiet on my end. So
I'm so sorry. No, you're good. I just gotta do some stuff real quick, and I'll go back to the other mic audio.
Okay, no worries. What?
Yeah, it could work.
What do you think, Marcy? Yeah, we'll go to the other hallway.
Yeah. Good
Alrighty.
idea.
In that case, yeah, I'll say that you guys make your way down the other hallway, and it seems to kind of be some of the same. The hallway itself is also filled to the brim with old corpses, as well as some new ones. Old ones that you can still have some of their Victorian-era clothes, with some nice dresses, some old kind of like suits, and just seems that they haven't really been looted that much, surprisingly. But there's also what seems to be that of corpses that have been particularly mangled, that of like what seems to be some hikers that you can see that their gear is still there, but their bodies themselves have also been very much like desecrated. You're at a distance right now so that you don't have to see all the gory bits and details, Eddie, but it could be something to investigate. And on top of that, you can see what also are the old remains of what seems to be some cultists too, that are a lot less disheveled and desecrated, and that also kind of seem to be in somewhat the same conditions as the last cultist you saw in that other room.
I don't know.
You're completely fine. Marcy, there's something you want to try to do here?
That's a good question. So what does the room currently look like at the moment?
All right. Basically, what it looks like is that it's the hallway itself is basically the same look and desecration as the other hallway that was immediately to your guys' left that you guys checked out earlier, back at back where there was like the almost being caught encounter. Except this one seems to be a lot more desecrated in the sense that
a lot less people pass through here, and that it seems like some old fight has gone by. On top of that, the doors themselves to all the rooms here are also all open.
Hmm.
So there's plenty of rooms that you guys can go and check out if you guys are more in a pillaging kind of mood.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna. Honestly, Marcy just kind of wants to take a good look at what's around. Just see if there's
Sounds good.
anything that might be of like interest, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I'll say that you go ahead and do that. In order to actually like find anything within I'll say the rooms and just amongst the corpses and that sort of stuff, let me check what's going to be a good stat for this situation. I'll say make me a power check.
Oh, hang on, what?
Stay hungry, we devour.
Mm-hmm. It's basically because I don't want to do like a spot hidden because there's nothing necessarily that's hidden here. But
Right,
there's no like actual like perception check, you know?
right, yeah. What would that? Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, your base power stat. That's like
Yeah.
and all that.
Okay. Oh my god, that's way better than before. 16.
16. All right. I'll say yeah. You look around not only amongst the corpses at the eventual site that's going on here, but as well as some of the rooms, real quick. And amongst these rooms themselves, you don't really find that much. You can definitely tell that if there was any valuable contents to be found in here, they've already probably been picked by looters, scrappers, or maybe some of the cult members if that sort of stuff interests them.
Mm-hmm.
However, one of the things you do immediately find within one of these rooms is a frostbitten hiker that seems to have actually died of frostbite inside one of the rooms, who is dearly holding on to what seems to be some small journal.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do you pick it up?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say you do. And as well as this journal, you kind of make your way around to eventually where there's this actual fight that has happened between what you can imagine being these cultists. Well, these two cultists and what seems to be a good amount of hikers. And amongst the corpses themselves, it seems that I'm realizing that some of the washing machine stuff is going on in the background. You don't hear that. That's just the sounds of I don't know. It's the sounds of Cthulhu or something. I don't fucking know.
Piano keys.
Mhm.
Yeah, creepy piano keys. Thank you, Ori. All right, sorry about that. I'm gonna make my way back to my desk and give a proper explanation. Stalling. This is the sound of stalling. All right.
We're back to normal. All right. But yeah, basically, you check out these corpses that are surmounted around here, and on top of like the same sort of like old weaponry you can find amongst them, these serrated blades that the two cultists had, alongside like climbing picks and other gear that was like used post haste in order to use as a defense. You also see what seems to be this small tablet.
All right.
Picking up the tablet itself, you can see the same symbol that you've seen on the door that was within that cave being inscribed onto it, but it seems that the blood itself on this tablet is fresher than that of the door, and it seems to be some sort of object that is of some sort of importance to these cultists, because out of like everything that is like left here, this one in particular seems to be the most well kept. for some reason, even though it's belonging to next to a bunch of corpses.
Okay.
But yeah, I suppose you take the journal and the tablet with you.
Yes.
All right.
I'm
And
keeping
I suppose,
an eye out, by the way.
do you bring that back and mention it to Eddie?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm keeping an eye out and around, by the way, just to make sure nothing sneaks up.
Okie dokie. I'll say that at this point, it doesn't sound like you need to make any sort of like dodges or hiding anytime soon, as you guys seem to be safe for now.
Okay. I'm scared of what we missed earlier.
Mm-hmm. Don't you worry about it. You'll see it later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as you bring back the tablet and the journal, Marsibil, do you want to bring Eddie and Jean-Marie to the side in order to investigate it real quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alrighty. I'll say you flip through some of the pages through the journal, and amongst some of the entries that are left here, starting out as it starts out as this like these logs of this one hiker named Sandra, and you can see that like she was a hiker that came from Canada, having heard about this Mount Resort, and that the person who was like particularly a guide within this part of Austria said that apparently there was some sort of like not treasure, but something valuable that can be found here. And if not like the treasure itself, the fact that it was like this old resort that used to belong to a bunch of like nobles from the late 19th century could mean potentially like some loot that you can sell like to make a quick buck, in which she decided to agree to. And kind of like you guys, she goes through all the motions of making her way here, not having noticed anything particularly out of the ordinary, but having felt like these weird dreams and also like kind of noticing these weird things. And as she was making her way more and more to the resort and eventually got here, eventually the logs finish with her writing down quickly about writing her name, like, my name is Sandra. If you find this, it probably means that I'm dead. My friends were made their way out to try to like defend themselves and hide from these madmen that just keep chasing us. They keep talking about like in this weird tongue, but the only words we can hear is tablet and game. And one of my the guide themselves noticed this weird door at the end of one of the hallways further down in the building. I guess maybe that's where they're from. I don't know. If I can get out to here, I don't even care anymore. I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that she was continuing to write something before see the writing itself go fainter and fainter, and you can suppose that she lost her ability to write at some point because of the frostbite.
Damn.
A shame.
Yeah. Maybe Adrian knew who she was. Do we wanna keep moving?
We can certainly do that.
Mm-hmm. Should
Alright.
we check out the stairs, or is there anything else in the hallway?
At the end of the hallway, it does seem like there seems to be some sort of staircase there. Yeah.
Do we wanna go up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say
don't like
that
this.
as you guys make your way towards the staircase, you can see what seems to be some level of hallway that's in between there that kind of like serves as some sort of intermediary that seems to be having some sort of different like look to it, and you can probably imagine this is like a hallway that's supposed to be like sort of transition for workers to pass through here. For you can probably imagine people for like, cleaning, that sort of stuff, and within that, before reaching the actual staircase itself, it seems to be like one way leading down to what is indicated on an old sign on the ground called kitchen, and another one to the right seems to be the sign itself is also on the ground, but it has been marked off, seemingly out of somebody drawing over it or just wear and tear.
Mm.
Hmm.
Do we want to go up, or do we want to look around at these different, I don't know, things?
Hmm. Let's look around a bit more. I also kind of want to wait until Mari gets back, so we'll do a little bit of exploring.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You lead the way.
Hell yeah. Alright. We'll get to that exploring in a bit. I'll just be right back. I just realized I put something in the washer I probably shouldn't have.
Do you want us? Okay. Let me put this on.
It'll take like 2 minutes. You don't. Alright, but yeah. Checking out this. Where do you guys want to go first? Do you want to go towards the kitchen, the marked off area, or up the stairs?
Let's go to the kitchen!
Yeah, kitchen sounds good.
Alright. You guys make your way towards the kitchen. As you guys are heading through here, I'll say that down the hallway, you definitely hear the sound of, surprisingly, some sort of activity.
Hmm.
As you can hear, like some sort of like clinging and clanging here and there from what seems to be a room down the hallway. But otherwise, making your way through here, this seems to be some sort of like service hallway that has definitely also seen some better days. Couple of like janitor closets here and there that have had the supplies of cleaning stuff just disheveled and mist all over the floor. And also, welcome back, Mari.
Hello.
But yeah, you guys made your way from that hallway to another one. Marsibil found a journal and a tablet,
Mhm.
and you guys are making your way through a hallway that was marked kitchen in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what do you guys do? Do you want to check out some of the side rooms over here? Do you want to head out what that sound is doing?
Should we stealth?
You can if you want to.
What do you guys think?
I mean, we can check out the noise.
I mean, we should check it out, but we should also stealth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, I'll say that you start making your way. You guys did say yes to stealth, right?
Yes, of
Mhm.
course.
All right, then roll me stealth checks. I believe in y'all.
Oh, that is barely a success. 32.
32, all right.
I have a 20 in it? Okay, let me roll. 93. I'm rolling ass.
93. Marsibil?
65.
65. Ouch.
We both fall into a hole and fall 2 stories.
Again, not again.
All right. I'll say that in that case, Jean-Marie, with your success and unfortunately the failure of Marsibil and Eddie, you guys make your way through this hallway trying to keep some sort of silence, and eventually both of you two kind of like as you're making your way through bump into like this like actually no, I'm gonna say it's the most like unfortunate thing of like not knowing it, but like stepping on a piece of wood that is very crikey and like making that little like sound. And
Immediately
as
nice.
yeah, you two are immediately on edge as like you realize what you did, and you hear the sounds of pots and pans clanking and activity stop. And you can hear what seems to be the sound of not walking or running, but some sort of skipping.
What? Oh, I don't like this. Are we just gonna stand there, or do we want to move?
We'll move.
Let's get out of here. Let's hide.
Yeah.
All right, where do you guys hide?
Fuck, dude. What's in our surroundings? What's around us?
All right, so you have a couple of service lockers that you guys had for janitors and stuff that are pretty small, but that were behind you guys. And currently, to your immediate right seems to be some sort of like doors that will lead to either a kitchen or some sort of furnishings for like supplies for a kitchen. And to the left, it seems to indicate to some sort of like dining hall.
Going to the kitchen.
Dead by Daylight and me says we should hide in the lockers, but that probably isn't right. I'll follow Marcy into the kitchen.
Also, I'm too big, so you guys can
That's
hide in the
fair.
lockers. I can go somewhere else.
Alright.
I'll hide in a locker just so that we know what we're dealing with. No, actually, those things are probably really old and creaky. I'm gonna follow Marsibil.
Yeah, same.
Alright.
I'm gonna open that thing and it's gonna be like,
It's gonna be like the Monster High locker, and it's gonna eat you.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna say that as you guys make your way towards the kitchen den, do you, like, gently open a door? Do you barge in? What are you guys doing?
I am opening the handle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning the handle, then I'm slowly pulling the door open.
Alright.
Because that way, that doesn't make noise.
Okay. I'll say that as you're slowly opening this door, pulling it backwards in order to open it up, you also see here the door at the other end of the hallway seems to have opened up loudly and fastly. Do you guys make your way immediately into the kitchen?
Yeah.
Where was the
Alright.
sound was coming from the kitchen, wasn't it?
Yeah. It seems that this kitchen itself may have 2 doors.
Yeah, let's go into the kitchen. It's better that we find it before it finds us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still holding my knife.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm taking out my gun.
No, don't shoot the
Alright,
gun, because then we're gonna alert more people that were here.
Okay, yeah, I'll take out the evil knife that I picked up earlier.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll say that you pull out your knives, and as you guys enter in, you hear the sound of what seems to be some sort of French, as you hear this woman go, "Oh, mais on dirait qu'il y a eu des personnes par ici."
I speak French.
So do I. What the fuck is she saying?
What is she saying?
I'll say that since both of you do speak French, Jean-Marie, since you have like, well, actually, yeah. No, yeah, since you two have like some French in there, I'm gonna say that you guys can hear her basically say the equivalent of, "Oh, but I thought there were some people out here to play with me." Oh, and you can.
Fuck you. Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're good. And you can hear that she seems to start preparing to skip her way down the hallway. You guys meet, as you guys are making your way into the kitchen and slowly closing the door. What do you guys do as you make your way into this kitchen? This place that you see is basically like a butcher's kitchen and straight out of hell. There are body parts and corpses that have lain strewn here that you can see are actually all marked with what seems to be this sort of like same like circlet of flame, but with a rat inside at this point instead of a raven.
Oh.
Okay.
And these bodies you can see are kind of all fresh. Some of them are some of them are recent and some of them are frozen down, but you can see that like in the middle of this kitchen itself, strewn this like poorly displayed amounts of gore and disgust, is what seems to be the workplace of this being. And since all of you just entered in straight into this just huge gore fest, I need all of you to make me sanity checks.
How do I roll that? How do I roll that?
You basically have to roll underneath of 69, since it's basically you have to roll your current sanity amount.
Nice.
51.
51.
92.
Oh.
92.
No.
All right, and Marsibil?
56.
56. All right. In that case, oh, you lucky ass motherfuckers. All right. I rolled the sanity damage and I rolled a 1, so Eddie and Marsibil, you take 0 sanity damage, and Jean-Marie, you're gonna take only 1. As you guys have seen a lot, on your trip over here. A bunch of bodies, unfortunately, is not something that is super jarring at this point anymore. And Eddie, like you've already seen one earlier, so you're kind of like hyped yourself up at this point to prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jean-Marie, can you just let me know what's your current sanity points out of your total?
I think 58.
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure to get a count.
Got it.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna say that you guys are currently in this kitchen right now, and you know that this thing is going to be making its way towards the other door in order to investigate where it heard you guys. What are you guys doing within this kitchen?
Are there any like any large containers, like people-sized containers?
Oh, absolutely. Some people, like some of them are full, and some of them are half full right now that you could slide yourself inside of if you don't mind sharing it with another body.
That's fine. Sound like they don't mind it anyway.
All right. I suppose that you make your way into one of those tubs, Marsibil?
Yeah.
All right. What did the rest of you two do?
Guess
Do you
I'm
think you
hiding
can
by
fit two of
myself.
us? Do you think do you think you could fit two of us in one of those things, containers?
Yeah, I can say the three of you can fit yourselves into that container. You would just have to share it out with a body or two.
Oh.
Damn. I was about to offer myself as a sacrifice to like go first in one, so I would be touching the body so Eddie can go on top of me. But if we can all three fit.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Bet.
I'll say the three of you make your way inside right next to these two dead bodies that are particularly nasty smelling. And you can kind of hear this faint amount of flies just kind of like
Oh
making its
god.
way over them, as you can hear just a
Oh, there's so many maggots.
yeah, and you can hear the kind of sound of like
Wait,
maggots on the
is this
inside.
like in the bin with the corpses?
Yeah.
I don't want to get in that.
Can we go into a fresher one?
Is there
You
anywhere
can-
else to hide in the room?
You can look around, yeah. I'll say that there's a space underneath the cutting table that seems to be where like that thing was working at. And there seems to be a broken down stove that you can try to hide your way inside of.
Oh yeah, I'll go get in the stove, Zach. That sounds like a great idea. Well, shit.
I'm just saying, it is there.
I guess that's actually my only option. I'll make sure that the lid is over Marsibil and Jean-Marie, and I'll go. Does the oven look like it works?
Roll me. What would this be?
Electric repair?
Yeah, roll me an electric repair.
Well, actually, I think it shouldn't be that, and I think it should be English education.
Yeah, totally.
I'm good at that. Okay. Below a 10, below a 10, below a 10, below a 10. 71. Okay, I climb into the oven and I don't even care if it works or not.
All right. You go in, so it smells particularly charred in here, Eddie.
Hey, better than being in a bin with a corpse. I'm gonna die.
Jean-Marie, did you want to also join in the bin the corpse where Marcy is, or do you want to hide somewhere else? I know you said
a fresher one. You said there were a lot of fresh ones. Do we have to go into the one with maggots?
You don't have to go into that bin in the one with maggots, but I will say that the ones that are fresher, it seems that like they're a little bit cramped, so you will have to like kind of squeeze yourself between some corpses.
I'd rather touch corpses than maggots. Sure.
All right.
I'm gonna go specifically to a different one, so one of us gets found, the other two have time to run or something. I feel like two of us getting found at the same time is not a great idea.
That's fair.
All right. In that case, I'll say the three of you roll me stealth checks with an advantage.
All right.
So we'd technically be rolling it with disadvantage?
Yeah, basically rolling for the lower option.
Okay. I got a 19. Oh my god. Oh,
So we're rolling
fuck.
twice? Okay.
Yeah, you're rolling 2d100s and getting the lower number.
I have a
Sick.
20 in stealth and I rolled a 19.
Oh, thank God. High five.
Oh, high five.
I rolled a
like it.
6.
A 6, all right. And Marcy?
55.
Oh, Mercy, no.
Okay. I'll say that you lot all get together in not get together, but like get into your own individual hiding places, squeezing yourselves in, making your way into bodies, or like hiding inside of a furnace, and eventually you kind of hear the faint sound of un, deux, trois, soleil, as you can hear this like thing bashes through the door in order to try to like see if you guys are here, and you can see it's this woman who's kind of like a freak middle between the cultists and what like the same look of that guard dog you guys saw from earlier was,
Huh.
as she's wearing this like kind of the same robes and furs, but like wearing a lot less, and part of her chest is actually out with one boob out while the other boob is covered.
Oh, God.
And you can see that like the skin itself is very wrinkly and disheveled and very inconsistent with one another, and you can see that her back, it's actually, wait, I'm not going to describe the back too much, I forgot. Oh, actually no, it's
Why?
you're okay. Alright, Mari, I just want to double make sure. Basically, are you okay with like weird back shapes?
What?
Like, are you okay with me describing a weird back shape? No back trauma, but like...
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Then yeah, the way her back is formed is that her legs are like kind of normal. One of them is like like in the right direction. The other one is like rotated into the wrong direction. Kind of be like the knee is like aimed backwards instead of frontwards, kind of like a four-legged animal. But the back itself is like her lower abdomen is like immediately like crouched forwards, but like the upper part of her like her body itself is kind of like slinked, and her back is kind of like formed this sort of L shape, where her lower abdomen is horizontal, and her upper back is vertical. And her arms are particularly longer than needed, being kind of like her fingers being almost as long as like the blade itself of your knife, a newfound knife, Domini. And her nails themselves, some of them being razor sharp, are not there at all. And she's kind of looking around, her neck in particular kind of still like slithering, kind of like that of a snake, looking around to see if she can hear it. And he goes, I know 3 little piglets made their way into my butcher shop. Oh, but I suppose my 3 little piglets are gone. Oh no. Oh, I guess I just gotta go back to work. And you see she makes her way towards where there was the cutting board. And you can see from this look, Eddie, from inside the stove, it seems that this person that like she drags was like somewhat still kind of alive. And you hear them go, oh, shh. No, little piglet. A good little piglet is supposed to be dead by now. And she raises this meat cleaver and slashes right in the middle of where his head is. And you hear this loud sound as like it cleaves right in the middle of where like his nose is. And you can hear like the part of the head kind of like link off a little bit, and you can see kind of it roll a little bit on the table itself before she's like, "Now I just need to make a couple of incision cuts." And you see she takes both of her hands and starts burying them deep into the corpse itself, and starts taking out stuff like the collarbone and other parts of the bones of the victim, as well as opening up the upper abdomen and chest itself. What are you guys doing in order to get out of this situation?
Made a really bad choice.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can get us out of this.
I believe in you. I am so scared.
Hey, Uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to cast a spell.
Ooh, what would you like to cast?
I think you know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, alright. How would you describe yourself casting that spell, my friend?
I would say, like, Marsibil kind of, like, puts her, like, she clenches both of her fists as she makes, like, a sort of, like, thumping sound between, like, the, like both ends of her, knuckles, pretty much.
Okay.
Just making these thumps in a very, like, rhythmic pattern, pretty much. To the point where, to anyone who listens to it, it hurts to listen to. Until eventually it gets worse.
Got you. Alright. And I'll say that you guys watch, as this thumping sound gets worse and worse, and you hear as this thing, like, reeks its head up and, like, looked directly towards, like, around the direction of where you were, and you see she's about to try to do something as you hear her go, what is this? And you see, like, she wraps her arms around her head, and she starts, like, writhing in pain as she is going to take, let me see. Ooh, shit, nice. You watch as, like, she grabs her head and she starts, like, kind of scratching at where her, like, ears are to try to get, like, the sound of it out. And you can see it's starting to, like, bleed in, and she's trying to, like, reach at her, grab at her, and claw at her face, just trying to get the noise out, as she eventually falls to the ground and starts writhing in pain. And for now, she seems unable to do anything.
Should I go stab her?
Do we just make a run for it? Oh, that too.
You may certainly try, Eddie.
Do you want, guys, out of character, do you think I should go stab her?
What's like the role for stabbing someone? I guess. What skill would that be?
I would say
below a 25. Sorry.
Yeah, you basically, no, you're good. You would basically have to roll, like, a brawl or, like, your weapon and roll underneath that. But I would say that since, like, this target is incapacitated and basically trying to not focus on you guys, I will say that it does count as a successful hit, like, immediately.
Should I?
I have an evil knife. You can do it if you want, but...
Okay, I'm going to... Well, I should do it quick. I'm gonna kick out of the oven, like, adrenaline pumping in my ears. I'm gonna pull my switchblade and I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna just slit her throat.
Alright. I'll say you do so, and you kick down the stove just out of pure adrenaline, and as you do so, you fall to the ground and kind of, like, get out. You watch as your clothes seem to be stained with, like, these old, like, burned pieces of, like, gore that have, like, sticked to the edges and pieces of the stove inside, and just through pure adrenaline, you go ahead and you slice open this woman's throat. It doesn't seem to do a killing blow on her, but she's still scratching and trying to get like this sound out of her head. Do you want to try stabbing her again?
Is she screaming? Zach, is she screaming?
She's still screaming, yeah.
I'm stabbing her in the mouth.
Alright.
Oh god.
Roll me damage for both of those attacks, by the way.
Okay. Wait, what do I roll? Oh. Wait, okay. Okay, first one does 2 points of damage. The second one does 2 points of damage.
Alright, 2 points, 2 points. Alright, you go ahead and slice its neck open. It doesn't immediately kill it, but you can see like this like slightly darkish crimsonish blood like start to pour out. And eventually you stab it again in the mouth, and you see it's starting to grow like faintly more limp as it's still moving, but like the screaming has stopped, and she's just seemingly now kind of starting to gargle on the blood, and your blade just going this awful like.
I'm pulling out my knife from her mouth and I'm just gonna keep stabbing her like in the chest, trying to hit the heart or something.
Alright.
Yeah, get the brain!
Oh yeah, I'll stab her in the eye to get the brain.
Lobotomize.
Alright, sounds good. I'll say you do a couple of stabs in order to get there just right, but eventually, as like you keep stabbing this fucking thing in the eye, eventually you watch as like its dark crimson blood kind of like is stained the entirety of your right hand, and in particular your switchblade. And the surface surface of itself of inside the brain itself is particularly nasty and hard to get through as you're stabbing this switchblade in. Eddie, odds or evens?
Even.
As you stab this last time in the eye, and you do hear like the sound of like the brain being reached, you pull out and you hear this as you pull out, satisfied with your kill. You see that the blade itself of your switchblade has remained stuck inside the head of this creature.
Oh, it's okay. I'll grab the meat cleaver instead.
All right, you drop the hilt immediately and take the meat cleaver with you, which I will say, instead of doing 1d4, we'll now be doing 1d6.
Nice. Okay.
Oh my
Cool.
god, this is a first-person horror video game. We're getting new weapons. Nice.
Yeah. I kind of like wipe the excess blood off on my shirt, trying to like waiting for the others, but I'm also gonna make my way over to the adrenaline is still pumping, and I'm gonna make my way over to this corpse to try to see who it is.
All right. I'll say you look immediately at the corpse that's in front of you. You don't recognize this person, but I'll say amongst like the corpses that are also in the stack, I'll say that it's uncanny to you, as you can see what seems to be the unconscious and barely alive, starved version of Adrian.
What the fuck?
And you can see like he's wriggling around like in this pile of bodies, completely naked, and looks at you and just kind of like gives this pain. Please help
Yeah,
me.
I'm gonna go. Part of him is taking a couple steps forward to go help, and then the other part of him kind of like still instinctively pressed over where the injury is that he got from that creature. He kind of stops in his tracks and he kind of like points the cleaver at him and is like, how do I know you're really you?
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know, tell me something that, I don't know, only you would know is something. I don't know how the fuck that works.
This man looks at you, and Adrian looks completely confused. He has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
You look at his eyes more. He looks like he has never seen you before, or any of you for that matter.
Can I peek out of the corpse spout?
I'm looking at him and I'm like, Adrian, don't you know who I? It's me, Eddie. Don't you know who I am? Okay. Never mind. I'm gonna make my way over to him. I'm gonna hold a hand out to him.
He holds your hand and your hand too, Jean-Marie, as you pull him out of this, like...
Okay, I hate to be that bitch.
Mhm.
I'm not helping. I'm standing over there with a gun. I'm prepared.
Alright. Yeah, you have your gun ready, and Eddie weighs anything as you pull him out and kind of like put him down on the ground as like he coughs up some dried up blood that he had in him and looks at you all and goes, "Thank you."
What happened to you?
I don't know. I remembered I was in Marseille in France, and I was just studying medicine one night late, and the next I'm about to be chopped up by that thing. I would have been dead if it weren't for you two just coming in here. Are you three hikers from around here?
Okay, yeah, this is gonna get real awkward real quick. Yeah, you could say that. This is just weird for us because we've met you before. You helped us get here.
What?
Yeah.
Did he help us get here, or did something that looks like him
Something that
help us
looks
get
like you helped us get here. Wow, that's actually really crazy. Hmm.
Okay, let's focus on getting you able to walk.
No. Okay.
Did you know anybody named Sandra?
Sandra?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, well, let's get you up, and then you can think about it more.
Okay. Do you help him off the ground?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, you help this Adrian get off the ground and wrap his arm around yours. As he definitely needs your strength in order to stay up, as he's very much chilled and without any sort of strength. And yeah, I'll say that you guys do definitely look at him. Yeah, Eddie, and the rest of you particularly notice. Well, all of you notice, but particularly Eddie, you notice because you've seen this guy without his shirt on. Or you thought you did.
Yeah.
Adrian has never been this starved before, and
Yeah.
you definitely know that by normal means you can't starve that fast.
No.
So either this is a fake Adrian trying to taunt you with imagery of the other Adrian, or vice versa.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of sit him down, and I'm gonna kind of maybe start tending to his wounds, and I'm gonna be like, what's your life like, Adrian? What's back home like for you?"
I was a doctor. I was trying to study medicine in order to have a good life, and make my family proud. I did want to travel the world at some point, but I just didn't have the heart in me. And
Mhm.
I, I, I guess one of the places I really wanted to go to was to check out the drag scene going on in America, particularly that in New York. Ah,
Mhm.
Hmm.
What's your family like? They must be missing you by now, right?
yeah. No, my parents, they really tried their best. I was sometimes a difficult kid, but they managed. And, well, I'm scared of how worried they'd probably be knowing that the situation I'm in. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, I don't know if I believe this guy. Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift up my shirt on the side where I was injured, and I'm gonna kind of like
Mm-hmm.
run my finger along the stitches, and I'm gonna be like, "Does this look familiar to you? I had a doctor do it back home."
He looks at you, and then look back to you and goes, I, oh my god, I'm sorry you had to receive that bad of an injury. Uh,
Yeah, no, it sucked. Just it doesn't look like infected or anything. Like the stitching looks okay.
yeah, it looks fine. Even, I'd say I haven't seen... I've particularly been kind of rough with stitching. If I had to make a guess, that was probably like some sort of like professional medic or soldier that did that or something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, GM. But he was a
Mm-hmm.
soldier at one point, wasn't he? Or at least that's what the other Adrian told me.
That's what the other Adrian told you.
Yeah, I kind of nod and I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Have you served any time in the war at all? I'm still tending to his wounds, by the way.
Mm-hmm. He looks at you and goes, no, I dodged the draft. I was too scared, and I knew I would not be good with a gun or with my medical knowledge back then.
Right. Um. Um. I'm gonna kind of look over at Jean Marie. I don't know if Marcy's come out yet.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm like knocking on Marcy's thing, like,
mhm.
hey, it's safe.
All right. Yeah, Marcy's gonna step out.
Mhm.
So
when
not unscathed.
when I am patching him up, the cuts on him, like the injuries, are there
Mhm.
any? Are they actual injuries? Do they look like, or do they look simulated? Does that make sense?
No, I get what you mean. I'm not gonna make you roll a check for this. I'll say that like you've definitely seen what like injuries like looked like simulated by like a creature that was like faking it, and usually you would see like it's definitely from like the gunshot you gave to the Mensa when they were threatening you. You can definitely tell that like the gun injury that this fake Peter had in its neck was like kind of wriggling around a little bit, very faintly at first, but eventually growing faster. Um, there's no wriggling inside any of these wounds. They look genuine to your eye. And to the rest of your eyes as well. I will say a little detail as well that you can think about for a little bit is that he did mention that being like particularly good like that if it was like a field medic, like a soldier.
Yeah. Have you... Have you, like, been around field medics to know that? Because you said you dodged the draft, so that's why I'm just wondering. And I still have my hand on my cleaver and stuff.
When I dodge drafted, I pretended that like I got a very bad injury in my leg, and while I didn't have to participate, they did show medical students who were being drafted in, and like I learned it from them that how to suture really fast. But I never really got the technique down. I'd say would probably be something you get from actually experiencing the war, if I had to make a guess.
Right, yeah. Hello?
This man is yapping too much for someone bleeding out.
Yeah, I know.
What's the...
I don't know if we trust this guy.
Yeah, I don't.
Can I
What's
roll?
the insight on...
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I want to roll.
Sure.
Psychology.
Roll psychology, yeah.
Bet I will also be rolling that.
15.
15.
24.
24. Yeah, you guys are checking out this guy, see if he's suspicious, and he seems to be telling the truth. He's just a confused medical student from France that just doesn't really know what he's doing here, and that doesn't know how you got that injury, but recognizes that as something that probably a field medic or a soldier would have been able to do.
God damn it. I banged a monster.
Hey, Marcy, what do you think?
Yeah, what's up, Marcy?
I mean, fuck, what was I gonna say? Let's say Marcy is just gonna be careful, I'd say. Just like our eyes can sometimes deceive us. Just keep your wits about you.
What do you mean? I'm not trying to deceive you all. I don't know what happened, and if there's any way I can prove that I'm really who I am and I'm not one of that thing, pointing at like the butcher right next to you, I'll prove it.
That's the thing. I don't think there's anything you can do. So all we can do is proceed with caution.
He looks genuinely confused and does not understand what he's done wrong.
Look, as long as you don't try to kill us, you have nothing to fear.
Yeah.
We're just gonna vaguely distrust you for the rest of our trip together, but we're not gonna do anything. You're fine.
And if you try and hurt us, I will make sure that you feel pain that you have never experienced before.
He looks genuinely terrified as you're saying that. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, all right. I'm sorry for anything I would have done. I didn't mean to do
No,
anything.
it's chill out.
Keep your voice down.
That's not 20 slang. I just told him to chill out. Anyways, no, calm down. You're fine.
Chill out.
I know, right? I invented
it. We all died here,
He
and
looks-
come back for
okay.
another 40 years.
Yeah, exactly. No, he you say that, he looks kind of like a face of like, are you fucking serious?
Anyways,
Oh my God.
calm down.
Yeah.
There's nothing to fear. You don't intend to hurt us, then we don't intend to hurt you either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plus, if you get too worked up and start screaming, you're gonna drag things.
Yeah.
Better to be quiet here.
Let's find you some clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Has this been naked this whole interaction?
Yep.
Yeah, he's been naked this whole interaction,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and he's cold as shit.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, decomposing bodies are probably warm, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then he should be fine. He's been around like multiple dead heaters. He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We should get him a blanket though.
All right.
Yeah, let's get him something.
All right. I'll say that there are like some old like stained rags that have like some old blood on them, but there are also the robes that belong to the butcher.
Yeah.
Do you want to wear those? I mean, it's kind of our only option.
Yeah, I honestly am down for anything at this point.
Awesome.
He kind of weakly gets up and starts putting on the clothes, just embarrassed that that whole conversation happened and had him get stitched up while he is just butt ass naked.
Yep.
Eventually he puts the attire on. It's way bigger than him, so he just finds ways to tie it up, and he kind of looks like a tourist that's trying to climb Mount Everest but doesn't know exactly how to wear like cold gear on. So he just has like the coat and like the pants and the furs all in the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
And just looks at you guys. You do, and eventually he gets something better, and he looks at you guys and goes, "All right, where do we go now?"
That is a great question.
We've been just wandering around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
If I had to say, I have overheard her, though she did mention that within the office of supposedly the old owners that worked here, that was where she was singing to herself. That's where her supplies of food go. Stuff for the game downstairs.
Downstairs? I'll kind of like look at the others. That's...
When I hear the game, I recognize that, right?
Yeah.
What I mentioned of my husband. Lovely.
Mhm.
I'm not saying anything. But
Mm-hmm. I'll say, Eddie, you also recognize mentions of the game,
Yeah.
as that's exactly what Demensa mentioned, where you can find Queer and Fairchilde and Peter.
I'm gonna kind of look at Adrian and I'm like, okay, so we're probably going somewhere that's gonna be very, very dangerous. Do you want to come with us? Or do you want to leave now and face whatever the hell is out there alone?
I mean,
Because I'll admit, one of those options feel better than the other.
yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Both sound shitty as fuck, so
Yeah.
I would rather go with people than face the wind than the snow alone.
Yeah. You don't want to die alone. Okay. Do we want to go downstairs? Have we seen stairs going downstairs?
You have not seen stairs go downstairs, but I will say that within the lobby that you did see, there were like mentions within the first couple of papers that you've mentioned that like the office of where like the owners were at, the Edwards, the located in the actual like resort itself, it seems to be the toppest floor that practically kisses one of the sides of the mountain itself, and it's located at the fifth floor, basically to the most northern part of the building.
Wait, so the downstairs is the 5th floor?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we took care of that butcher pretty good. However, we don't know how much that screaming alerted everyone, so we might wanna start
Get moving.
moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here too long.
Mm-hmm. Adrian just nods and waits to follow your guys' command.
Do we want to go over to that set of stairs that we saw, Marcy?
We
Oh.
can.
Sorry, I'm Eddie, that's Jean-Marie, that's Marcy. This is weird. We met someone that looked like you before and went by your same name, and so that's it's very jarring because you look exactly like that guy, like exactly. Anyway, let's get moving.
Yeah, he looks confused and just doesn't bother to try to ask anything.
Yep, you don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
All right. In that case, the four of you make your way out. You go to the staircase you guys saw earlier.
Yes. Quick
Yeah.
question though, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel weird, do I, from those pills that other Adrian gave me?
Not that you notice.
How is my pain?
It seems to have particularly subsided in the last couple of days.
Okay. I'm leaving the painkillers behind.
All right.
Actually, I'm taking them with me, actually, in case we need them.
Mm-hmm. You could try to make some sort of like medicine check on them.
I think I will.
Or ask Adrian about them.
I think I will. I don't want him to know that I have these, though, and try to take them. I will roll a medicine check on them. I'm most likely going to fail it, because I have a 1 in medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a 7, so... to fail by 6.
Yeah, I'll say that you look at them. They look like real painkillers.
Okay, I'll kind of nudge Adrian as we're walking. Maybe I could get him to take one. And if they're evil, then we, like, turn evil together or something. Or if he's already evil, then I just turn evil. I kind of nudge him before we leave, and I'm like, hey, these are painkillers, right? That doctor gave them to me. If you want one, you can have one.
I would really appreciate them. Yeah, those.
They are painkillers, though, right?
Let me look up what was common for painkillers in 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. He looks at them and goes, "Yeah, that definitely looks like some sort of morphine tablet. Whoever gave you them knew what they were doing."
Okay. If you want one, you can have one.
I would really appreciate that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He takes it and is like, "Oh shit, that's actually pretty good."
Mm-hmm. Don't get hooked.
I heard about. I won't. I just. You can see like he he doesn't immediately like heal up and to the point where he can like walk straight, but he is able to walk like these, and he's like, yeah, this. If I remember correctly, this kind of morphine tablet was only administered to people on the front. I've heard notice of that. Sorry, I just.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well, let's keep going.
yeah, and I'll say you guys make your way to the staircase. You start making your way up.
Let's go. You guys wanna? Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I think it was a yes from everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. In that case, yeah, I'll say you guys start making your way up the stairs, slowly but surely, in order to make sure things head well. As certain parts of the stairs have definitely caved in over time, and you have to walk around certain steps or take double or even triple steps in order not to fall. And sometimes you did have to catch one another as certain steps were failing a little bit, but eventually you make your way up to the 5th floor. And the hallways themselves that are led here are a bunch of rooms that eventually seem to kind of like conjoin in the middle and seem to be heading in a certain direction to your right.
Let's keep moving.
Um, I'll say that in that case, you guys keep heading on.
Mhm.
I need, again, for the 3 of you guys to make me some stealth checks, but this time with advantage.
Okay.
Korean, you better not fuck us over. Okay, that's not
You're
bad.
not doing good, Hard?
Hang on. Oh! 25. I'm
Ooh!
gonna use some of my luck points to bump that down. So I'm gonna just use 5.
Alrighty.
I got a 28. I'm gonna use all my remaining luck points to get it to a 21. Which still fails,
Alright.
but not as badly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Jean-Marie?
Give me a second. Oh, that's a 73.
33. Alright.
70.
Mari, don't correct him.
Oh, 73?
Yeah.
Alright. With advantage?
Oh shit, I didn't hear the advantage thing. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay, that's a 26. That's a lot better. Give me 1 second. Well,
You're good.
35. Yeah, I'm good.
Alright. In that case, yeah. I'll say that for all of you, as you make your way through this hallway and start dipping into the right, you kind of notice, actually, you kind of hear the sound of like some sort of chanting and prayer happening behind you guys, happening in like another room further away. And Eddie, you kind of like, you don't do it out of like stepping on something or bumping into something. You just kind of look inside, and you don't get caught. But I'll say, like, with just this look inside of this room, you can see what seems to be a bunch of robed people, kind of in the same furs and stuff like that, all in prayer in unison, chanting in this language you're not familiar with. But surprisingly, some of the people chanting, it is familiar to you. And to you as well, Marsibil.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
As Eddie, you can hear your mom and your dad inside of this room chanting. And Marsibil,
Yeah.
you had barely a couple memories of her back when you were younger. Back when you were going through this discovery and wanting to find out more knowledge, but occasionally you would see your grandmother. And she was a strange woman. Strange by excessive means. And despite her, you remembering her not having the most mobility, you hear her coming from this woman who seems to be in prayers and chants and way more mobile than she ever could have been. And they're in this room just chanting away. What do you guys do?
Mm,
Oh, Eddie is so pissed. He is
mm,
so mad.
Mm-hmm.
You guys definitely can see him, like, clenching his hand around the meat cleaver.
mm.
I'll say Adrian kind of looks at you and goes, does everything all
I
right?
look at him and I go, shh!
He immediately shuts up.
Yeah, we're right outside the room, man. Come on. Is everything? No, because you're gonna get us killed.
Hey, we can always see someone break over, right? I don't say that out loud. I'm just thinking about it.
We could send Adrian in. There's no point in doing that.
You can certainly try.
What do we do? Do we want to even try to deal with these guys? Does it look like they're blocking a staircase or something?
They're not necessarily blocking a staircase. They're in a room that's like, it's immediately on the other side of what seems to be the end of the hallway. Well, when there's the end of the hallway that's like right in the middle of this intercross between these two hallways that had both staircases at the end of them. And at the other end of the hallway where you guys are right now, you can imagine that's where the room of the owners used to be. And you guys are right next to the room that's like basically on the opposite of that. That's where you guys can see and hear the preaching.
Mm.
Okay.
Like basically this series of hallways is like forms out one big T. The bottom of the T, that's where the founders are, like their room is.
Your mic
This
is
is where
cutting in and
like
out on my end.
these people are chanting in unison.
Okay. Your mic was kind of cutting in and out on my end.
Mm.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I think my internet died for a second. Your mic was really cutting out on my end. Do you mind repeating that? I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's
I
not
think
good.
we lost
Hello?
Ori.
Oh no.
Oh, there you
Hello?
are.
Woo!
Guys, my Discord is dying. Zach, the stuff you were saying got cut out for me. Do you mind repeating yourself?
No, sure. Where did it cut out?
Throughout the whole description.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Basically what I was trying to... Was it like for like the whole chanting or...
It was for the whole chanting and the description of the room. It was right after I went, are they blocking, like, the stairs in the room?
Oh, okay, then yeah, no, I was only describing like where they are architecture-wise. But yeah, so basically like the way that these hallways are formed out is that it's basically a reverse T. And basically you guys are at the top of the T. This is where like all the chanting and like ritual is happening in this room, in the side of this giant room where you guys can barely see through it through like this little crack in the door. And at the bottom of the T, the other side of where you guys are completely, that's the room where the owners were used to be. That's their room.
Okay. So no
But yeah.
stairs.
doesn't seem to be any stairs, no.
What do we do? I kind of look at the others and kind of make like a confused gesture. I kind of point at myself and point into the room like I want to, and then I like swing the machete down a couple times, like quickly and quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And I like raise my hands again like thoughts.
We're. I mean, we are in a giant resort
How many are there?
made of. Oh my god! What the fuck? Sorry, my words blended together until it just was a noise.
Made of wood.
You're good.
It's made of wood, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, just because it's in the mountains doesn't mean it's not flammable.
True.
I don't want to put ourselves on a time limit though. Like if we set
You
this
know?
room on fire, then how are we gonna get it out? We have 3 more floors to go up.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sure you guys can figure something out.
Mhm.
If you say so.
I mean, that could be the the last thing that we do.
I don't want them to find us though. Because my parents would probably know that I'm here, out of character.
Yeah.
I will say that as you guys are trying to like figure something out, you do hear the sound of what seems to be like even more appraisal as something big seems to be happening inside of the room. Do you guys check?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As you look inside of the room from this little doorway you have access to, you see where they were preaching was this little like obelisk. Basically this little stone statuette that is in the form of what seems to be some sort of like planet, probably Earth, and around it is this large, even bigger, kind of like astral thing. It seems to be kind of in the shape of a cone, but the top being particularly very very sphere-like and very narrow, and leading down to what seems to be kind of like an even wider version of the cone. Actually, if anything, you know that spinny thing from Inception?
No.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. You are fine.
Discord gifts. Inception cone.
Thing from Inception. Spinning thing from Inception. Okay, it's basically like a little like totem. It's a spinning tractricoid top. Hold on, I'll
We gotta stop this ritual.
It kind of looks like those.
We gotta stop this ritual.
And as like it's going on, it's like it starts glowing this like dark purplish light before you see like this being kind of like peer out of like this little like tear in reality, and you all watch as coming out of this is a 5'8" man, disheveled and like head shaven, little pits of hair coming out here and there. He looks rather. He has like this dead look in his eyes, like he's seen much and acted much. And actually, I wrong description for the hair. He has like this disheveled mess of like long hair that has formed itself around his head, and he has a plentiful amount of scars, with his skin being textured with these little amounts of dark purplish marble-like substance that you guys saw on the other pieces of clothing. He wears these robes as well, but they seem more of some sort of like different types, as on them these amounts of like rock are more present, and it seems like some things are swirling, moving, like they have a mind of their own, but the face is similar. You guys recognize this as Isaiah Jericho Doe,
Oh.
the man that you've been looking for. And he looks at these cultists, and you hear him say, "My friends, dearlies, you know that the Kime is almost upon us. You are the last wave to head down into the old city of Omrad. You will arrive, and you will make sure that our great offerings to Yathuitol, the Unmaker, will be grand, so that when our display will be gruesome enough, when we will make our desire for purification perfect, he will unrender our reality and remove all forms of corruption, rendering our lives eternally blissful. No more pain, no more suffering, no more divide. We will all be pure. I ask of thee, how do you feel? Are you thrilled for the kill? The thought of knowing that those scum and filth are writhing in fear as you are ready to descend upon them, with you ready to become the lickers of Yathuitol. And you can hear a arousing cry of cries and joy. And he watches as he looks at all of them. And in that case, join the obelisk. Find yourselves in the city of Omrad, and you will be blessed to partake. And you watch as, slowly but surely, they all make their way towards this obelisk and start making their way inside. Do you guys try to intervene?
I
I don't
no.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I feel like this guy would kill us if he saw us.
yeah.
Then again, they did say
Mhm.
that these are the last line of people. I wish we could have jumped in when they were just starting to summon stuff, but I think we were too slow.
Yeah.
Mm. I don't know. Do we just?
Do you guys want to still? You guys want to just watch and see how the rest of this goes?
I mean,
Ah.
they're distracted right now. We could keep moving,
I mean, yeah. We could.
Hmm.
but then we have to deal with them later. Or we might be
Yeah.
injured. And some of us could be dead later.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All in favor of attacking?
No.
Okay.
No.
All in favor of continuing to watch? All in favor of keep running?
Yeah, just keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
All
keep
right.
going. Not running, walking swiftly enough so we're
Mm-hmm.
past the door.
All right. In that case, I'll say you guys start making direction towards where the Edwards' room was. And
Yeah.
all right, you were gonna say something, Ori?
I thought that was still in the same room as them.
Oh no, that was yeah, basically like this room is at the top of the T of like this hallway you guys are in, and at the bottom of the T, basically where there's like the unison of the two hallways that leads into one. At the end of that hallway, that's the room where the Edwards' room is.
And that would be
I'm
a
sorry if that
direct
wasn't clear.
view of them, right?
Not particularly. The door is just very slightly ajar.
I say we go into that room, yeah.
All right. I'll say that a lot of you make your way through and start making your way. Eddie,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that as you're the only one that technically failed that check,
Yeah.
as this last amount of people have entered into the obelisk and the seal is done, you watch as Isaiah looks immediately at you. And you hear in your mind, don't go. You don't have to run. I know you're here.
He hears in his head, ah! Can I talk back?
You can certainly try.
Hey, so... Crazy story. You're not gonna, like, kill me, right?
That depends.
Okay.
Why are you sneaking
so,
within the resort?
Crazy story. Your therapist sent us here to come find you.
You see he smiles. Not that of like something genuine, more just like a cold, expressionless smile. And you hear her say, Dr. Marlene Martinez sent you and your friends.
I mean, I think that was her name, yeah.
Are you alone, Eddie Matthews?
Eddie kind of, like, thinks, but also doesn't think, like, he literally just said you and your friends. Anyway, he kind of, like, goes and, like, in what sense of the word?
Your answer is going to correspond with how I decide what to do with you.
Mm. Oh, I hate this. I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Are you alone? The answer will correspond with an ideal fit. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to pull. The others are already in the room down the hall, right?
Yeah, they're further down the hall than you. You guys notice that Eddie has not moved since then and seems to like be kind of fixated on the room where the ritual is going on.
I think back to him. I'm alone. Yeah, I'm here to look for you, and I'm also here to find my friends. Do you think you can help me find them?
Hmm. What are you guys doing while this whole interaction is going on?
Guys,
Are you guys just keeping your way down the hallway?
stay here.
No.
Stay there. Stay there. Guys, he's
Yeah.
gonna kill me if he finds out I'm lying.
I'll stay here.
Yeah, I'm staying.
All right. I'll say he hears you say that you're alone and you're here to find him. He doesn't say anything as he raises his hand, and you see kind of similar with like the same like eyeball kind of insignia that some of the others um of those cultists have, but inside of it are even more furrow marks that have been made inside the palm of the hand. And you watch as the door gently swings open as he looks down the hallway, trying to find you two. I need Jean-Marie and Marsibil. I need the two of you to roll me stealth checks.
Come on, guys. Come on. Would they roll with advantage
got
since
this.
they're in like another room?
Yeah, so you guys are down the hallway. Yeah, roll me with that with advantage.
Thank God.
I have a plan.
I'm
Who would
going
like
to
to
use.
Make that noise also.
I'm going to use 18 of my luck points to get it down to a 20.
All right.
Give me 1 second. And I'm gonna use 17 of mine to get it down to 35.
All right. And Adrian is going to use practically all his luck points that he had in order to make that into a 15.
Thank you, God, Adrian. Oh my God.
As you watch, as he's like sending this hand out, you can see that the hand twitches a little bit as he's looking down the hallway. And you see that he seems to keep that smile up for a little bit before it goes back to a neutral expression. And he lowers the hand. I see you're not lying, Eddie Matthews. Good.
What do I have to lose?
I mean, I know why you're here. I don't think you would have followed Mrs. Martinez's direction if it wasn't for something else. Come inside of the room with me.
Who else is in there?
Nobody.
Inside.
They're all gone. Sure. Make me a psychology check.
43. That's below my 55.
If Isaiah is saying the truth, he certainly is.
Okay. I'm gonna keep the knife with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that to him.
You. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cautiously make my way down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Do you make your way inside the room with him?
Yeah.
I'll say you do. This room being covered in blankets and robes and clearly a place of ritual. You see all of these symbols of different things, of eyes, of like sticks, of basically anything and everything. The weirdest things to make rituals of. And as you enter, he goes, Eddie, what
Is he talking
troubles
to
you
me
in
out loud?
life? Yeah, he is.
I kind of like cross my arms and I'm gonna look at it. I think we're the same height. I think I'm a little taller than him actually, so I'm kind of gonna like look down at him and I'm gonna be like, I mean, you're in my head. You didn't like feel around or anything. I'm looking for people. I said that, I'm looking for my friends. They should be here.
No, that I'm aware of. I mean more in a general sense. What bothers you? What makes you feel the world is incomplete?
I don't know, I think that answer kind of changes day to day. It's a very hard thing to answer.
Mhm. No, I understand. I used to be in that situation too, when I was not aware.
Mhm.
I have a feeling I might assist with what I mean.
How do you mean?
I know
Oh,
I know
sorry.
of your nature. No, don't need to apologize. I'm asking you, mortal to mortal. And if it helps with what I believe that answer can be, I was made aware of your history of with your mother and your father.
Uh-huh.
I am sorry to hear with how you were treated.
That didn't stop you from bringing them into this little circle of people thing.
No, it did not. But it does not mean that I don't think that their version of what they think is impure doesn't have to necessarily be as, how do I say, as big as an issue as they believe it to be.
Uh-huh.
I believe in a way their version of what they believe is impure itself. And I know that maybe the way you view it can see as the way they view yourself is wrong. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah. What are
You
you
seek
aiming at?
well, what I'm aiming at is that mortal lives are filled with people that view imperfection in any way whatsoever. I mean, be it the way you've been treated. Just because of who you are as a person, the way you were born, the way you were made, you were not accepted. And in somebody else's eyes, you were impure. In the same way, I'm sure you've met other things, other beings in life that are impure in their way too. Don't you wish that those things would go away? That these things that separate us were gone?
I mean, I guess, but like not in like I want to kill them way, you know? I mean, I feel like people have the opportunity to like learn and grow and change.
Hmm. And what if they don't? What if they still find something impure, even if they grow and change?
Then that's their own fault. I mean, I have community where I can feel safe, you know? I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, it's definitely not what I want it to be, but
Hmm.
it's the best I can get.
And what if I said you could have something more?
And what am I gonna have to do for you to get that?
You don't have to do much. I know your reasons why you're here. You want to free Peter and Queen Fairchilde. And if I remember correctly, Jean-Marie's husband, John, is also down there. And even if I know a certain Miss Nyström is also amongst the people that will be joining the game, I also know that maybe a certain Marsibil is amongst you, seeking more knowledge. The truth of the matter is, Eddie, is that no matter how much we try, there will always be imperfection. There will always be, in some way, corruption from one's eye. I used to believe that there was no such thing. I used to believe exactly like you did. That we could just hope that the person learned to be better. That they would try to be the better person. And simply said, as much as we can try to see that person leave, there will always be many more that don't. There will be their unity that will be divisive. There will be separations, communities that hate one or like another. And I believe that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Why not try to break those ties? Why keep them around? What if you don't have to deal with liking people and not liking people? What if you could just love everyone? That's what this game is for. I'm trying to make sure that everyone can be loved in the end. It just needs a little work. So, if you want to participate in the games just to get your beloved ones out, I suppose you can. You'll just be delaying the inevitable and ruining your chance of finding true peace. We have a full community down there, plentiful in knowledge, plentiful in ways that can help one another. You just have to open up, break the divide, and accept community. And this whole time he's been giving you like less and less of this cold expression and seeming genuinely convinced more and more by the words he says. And when he finally says opens up the community, it's uncanny, Eddie, but this is the most warm smile you've seen this person give you throughout this whole dialogue.
Doesn't it all cancel out, though? My parents think the way that I'm being is impure, and I'm thinking the way that they're being is impure. Doesn't that cancel out? Wouldn't that just end up with everyone being changed in some way? I
It
don't
would.
think
That's
this
the
is
thing,
as
Eddie. It's the work that we're trying to make our way work towards too. These games will bring Yathuitol's blessing upon this world. And then that divide is going to be broken. It's just that these rituals and these prayers seeking the impure, that's what will bring him. It may be weird to some, barbaric to others, but it's not like humans are not capable of that. And if it means that the goal at the end is better than any of these wars or fake alliances between countries that will eventually fall one day, it would be better. At the end of the day, we are just a species doomed to fail. But with Yathuitol, we don't have to be. Your parents are still imperfect, but when Yathuitol will bless them, they won't view you as imperfect. They'll accept you for who you are. Jean-Marie's husband, John, will also be accepted. Jean-Marie herself will be accepted. Marsibil Nyström will be accepted. And Adrian, he will be accepted. No more divides. No more separations. Just union.
I want to ask you 3 questions.
Mm-hmm. And before you do you guys also want to join in this conversation, or are you also just continuing your way towards the room, or just continuing to watch?
Guys, don't come to me. He's gonna know I'm lying. And then he's gonna kill me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jean-Marie, Marsibil, you two just still stay there, or?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna wait until I get the all clear from Eddie.
Alrighty.
Yeah, same.
Sounds good. Then yeah, Eddie, ask your 3 questions.
Number 1. That Adrian who's out there in the hallway, is that really him?
Yes, that is him.
Okay, extension of the first question. I have 4 questions now. What was the Adrian from before?
That was me.
Oh. Huh. Well, those painkillers aren't gonna, like, kill me or something, right?
No. Those were genuine campaign killers an ally of mine gave me when I was terribly injured back in the Great War. It was a gift to you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Eddie is, like, processing.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah, totally. Okay, I actually have 5 questions now instead of 4. I'm so sorry that I keep adding more. I don't actually have a numbered amount of questions. I have questions that I need to get to. I'm just adding on to those. So forget I said anything about the 3 questions, okay? Why pick him of all people? Is it like people that are here you can turn into? Or why him?
I simply decided that knowing I had a bit of time to inspect your preferred taste, and I realized that someone of his frame might be up your alley.
Hmm.
But the emotions that were there were somewhat genuine. I did have a good time.
Eddie definitely feels hurt by being used.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like crosses his arms and he's like, Peter, Queen Fairchilde, Jean-Marie's husband, what is happening with them? And this isn't my last question, so don't like send me to where they are just to figure it out for myself because I have more questions for you.
No, you can continue asking. It's just that the more you ask these questions, the more that you have to accept another part of this agreement.
Okay. What is happening with them? What you're making a deal with me to go into this game. What did they have to make a deal with you for?
Simply put, they were taken out of random. There was no right or reason for it. People viewed them as corrupt for any unjustified reason whatsoever,
Mhm.
and they were just taken. And this thing that I'm sure the others have told you, this game, it is called the Succumbing of Yathuitol.
Roll credits. Sorry. Um. He kind of nods. Okay. What do you have to do to win? And if I go and play, I'm gonna be able to come back from it with the people that I'm in there for, right?
Indeed. But in exchange, you must kill everyone who is not directly related to you. That includes your partners that you've been working with.
But I am directly related to them. We're friends.
That is not what the educations have taught me, but if you find a way to make it work with a greater being like Yathuitol, feel free to impress me.
Oh, I've definitely done some impressing for you. Um, where do I sign?
No physical signature, but I must first mark you.
I kind of like put my hand over my side that I got stabbed on.
I will heal that for you. Do not worry.
What sort of mark? I do still have my hand on my meat cleaver, by the way. I fully intend on taking that with me.
Mm-hmm. Just the type to know that you will participate. And if you will, I know the others are not too far away. They'll have to play as well.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really have a choice in it, do I? Because if I say no and I try to leave, then you're probably gonna kill me, right?
No, that would just be unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. I do agree. I think dying would be very unfortunate.
After all, I would be particularly pleased if you found another way inside. But this is the most surefire way, and the most surefire way to see the ones that you care for and protect them.
That it definitely feels like the safest route so far. And is it just the people that were fighting in there? There aren't like monsters or something?
At
Not
this
that I'm
point,
not afraid of any sort of monsters or anything.
absolutely, I'm sure you are. And yes, there are a couple of liquors partaking.
Ugh. Okay. Mark me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how else to go about this. Because I know going through those other floors is probably going to be a bit much, so beam me up or whatever.
All right. In that case, I'll say that you guys all watch as Eddie, you are approached by Isaiah, and he places that hand that had the eye and the multiple marks on, and he places it on your forehead. And you watch as you feel this immense amount of pain seared into your forehead as you feel like you're being branded with a hot iron, and you kind of grasp at like his hands, just feeling this pain, trying to resist, and eventually he gently lets go. And you notice that as that still kind of rings from the pain, you don't feel any pain anymore from your sides, and you're fully healed.
Is that it?
Yes. Just make your way towards the room of the Edwards. Make your way down. Eventually, either a shepherd or a licker will find you, and you will partake. I just need to find the others first and mark them as well.
Wait. So this doesn't all just happen on the top floor. We're doing this until we get there?
No. You will be brought down to the lowest point of this mountain. There is more than meets the eye with this resort.
Yeah, no fucking shit.
What do you do, Eddie? Do you invite the others to get marked as well, or?
Let me go talk to them just so I can see if they want to go along with this too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna...
In that case, yeah, go ahead.
Wait here. Then I'm gonna make my way out.
All right. Eventually, you make your way more where the others are at, and the rest of you see this seared-in, like, insignia in the middle of Eddie's forehead, where you can see what seems to be the symbol of a raven that is being stabbed with a dagger.
Hey, guys.
Jesus Christ.
What?
So... I figured that the quickest way for us to get up to our friends and family would be for us to agree to be a part of that little game thing that he's doing. You guys don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you guys want to keep going up the floors, then feel free, but I'm gonna try to do this. He said it would be the quickest surefire way for us to get to him. You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I'm not going to.
Okay. What's the... I mean, we're gonna have to get there anyways, and we can be killed, and we can kill people, so what's the difference between participating in the game with a mark and just showing up?
We get there faster. We don't have to worry about getting hurt in 3 more floors. You know? I mean, I like gesture at Adrian. Look at what 1 floor did to him.
I'm taking my chances.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm also taking. I don't want to let this place affect me more than it already has. And a permanent mark on my body is just. I'm sorry.
Eddie kind of moments. Okay, yeah. I respect that.
I'll say,
glance at Adrian.
yeah, you look at Adrian and he kind of looks like, well,
I don't want you to go with me, okay? This is the real one. It's actually him. You are really hurt, and I don't want you to get more hurt in there. Okay? So,
I mean, if they're going to find me and still hurt me one way or another, or if I go with you two or just you, I feel like I'm still in a shitty situation.
well, at least you have 2 people
And
to protect you rather than 1.
But at least we know that what down there could just be mostly people and maybe a few of those other things rather than just plenty of those other things. Look, either way, I'm dead weight no matter where. So, if it means I could maybe save and help some people that are down there and try, I'd rather try against people I can actually somewhat comprehend. Please.
It's your choice in the end.
Despite his injuries and his broken resolve, he seems determined. And eventually, I'll say that he looks back at the open door, where at this point Isaiah is just standing there waiting, arms crossed in front of him.
Wait, actually, can I have a second before I want to discuss something with Marcel before actually coming to my decision? Actually, Marcel,
Sure.
I just called you Marcel. I'm so sorry.
Are you calling her nicknames now? That's so cute!
No, she's calling her the
Oh,
girl from
I
Dungeon
mixed her up with
Master.
the Dungeon Master outfits first.
Oh,
I'm so
wow.
okay.
Damn, Marsibil, I guess you're just a lesbian elf now.
She was one of
I'm
those
sorry I
things
called you
before.
Italian.
Oh my god.
Okay. Marsibil. I'm gonna pull her aside real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not getting it?
I'm... I don't want to subject myself to influences of this place. I know the price for submission, and I'm not going through with that. If it makes this journey more difficult, then I will take that. But I'm not going to go along with this. Or at least the game.
Alright. You gotta keep me alive then, alright? Because I barely know what I'm doing with this gun. And then I'm gonna turn around and give an out, like, yeah, I'm not getting it. You guys go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna give Jean-Marie and Marcy a hug then. Uh, just in case I don't, see you guys again or whatever.
No, we are not bringing that kind of fate upon us. We are not jinxing it. John Marie is gonna grab, like, both of your shoulders. Stay alive until we get there. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you can't tell my husband that I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Alright. I'm gonna hug you again.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe.
You too.
And I'm gonna move away so that if you want to say that depressing stuff to Marsibil, you can. I just don't want to hear it. Like, as in, not, oh, that sounded so bad.
Dude, you're totally fine.
As in, I don't want to jinx it.
Marcy, I'm really sorry. I didn't actually have anything in my inventory, so if I don't see you guys again, then stay safe and let the people at the Garden of Diamonds know that I died, I guess. Oh, and tell my neighbor that she doesn't have to keep watching my apartment. That's it. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Then in that case, I'll say that with that, you guys watch as Adrian also gets branded, and Eddie and Adrian follow Isaiah as he brings the two of you along and invites you two still, Jean-Marie and Marsibil, to join. Do you do so? He doesn't seem intrigued on wanting to mark any of you two, just invites you to follow.
I will cautiously.
Yeah.
You follow him, and as you do, you watch as you'll eventually arrive in front of the room that used to belong to the creators of the hotel. He opens up the door with the use of telekinesis, and inside the room has completely been destroyed and replaced to make another door exactly similar to that of the cave entrance you guys saw earlier. He looks at the lot of you and then looks at you, Marsibil. I believe that you found a tablet of one of the cultists. I sense it on your person.
Yes.
You may use it on the door itself to open it up. As for how this is going to go, I will bring Eddie and Adrian, directly down to where the city of Omrad is, and where the Succumbing of Yathuitol is going on. While you two will find a way down there as well. Not with my assistance. If you do, I will be pleasantly surprised. But nonetheless, I bid the four of you luck. And no matter what happens, know this. If you do come out of it, you will be finally able to see the blessings of our Lord Yathuitol.
Mm.
Well, do any of you want to say anything back or do anything before making your way inside?
Yeah. I'll say Marcel's just going to look at this guy
Mm-hmm.
with a very straight face and just go, I have the Aesir and the Vanir on my side. They will guide me.
One with the Norse. Then, if they truly are with you, I expect you to be quite capable of your chances, and I have hopes that you will be able to survive what you will see. Your mind and body will both need it. And because I'm a curious man, I will let you two on a little secret. Looking at you, both Jean-Marie and Marsibil. There is one of the shepherds, the others that are not as active as I am, but the many cults. There is one of them that is doubtful. Find them, and if the blessing of Yathuitol is not to be soon, he may assist you with that.
Hmm.
In that case, Marsibil, do you use your tablet to open up the door?
Yep.
All right. You press it upon the sigil, or the part that has the sigil, with the door itself, and you see as the blood itself goes from being dried to liquid, as it drips down from the door and from your tablet, and you watch as the door crunks itself in further, and very slowly rotates down to the bottom, where you see a massive cavernway go inside. The light inside of here is strange. It is not made of light produced by lightning or by any sort of gas like you'd know of it. The lights here are glowing. Crystals and rocks form a natural lighting against the darkness that is surrounding. And as you look further down, this cavern goes deeper, and it starts spiraling towards a darker and darker downwards. Do all of you go?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. And as all of you go down, the door raises back up, closes behind you, and is locked. You walk down this spiral cavern for minutes, that turn into multiple minutes, that turn into hours. But eventually, you see a glimpse of it. A long forgotten city. Architecture that rises to impossible heights. Buildings that form that of nearly close to that of New York, but that swirl and twirl and twist. It glows ever so faintly. The same material of that purplish marble-like rock, ever so present. You are finally here. Finally having answers and discovering the truth of what is going on. Now you only need to try and stop it. Isaiah takes Eddie and Adrian and continues onward. But he leaves you two behind, Jean-Marie and Marsibil, looking onwards at the city. And as the group separates into twain, feeling unsure of how things go from here, that's where we end tonight's session of Succumbing.
I think I made a dumb move, guys. I don't think that was my best choice. And for that, I apologize. In my defense, I thought that would go differently.
You know what? Very fair.
Yeah. God, I can't wait until Dropout Wizards goes big, and then on Reddit, everyone's like, I really didn't like Ori's choice in Succumbing. Just what like, that was really kind of messed up, you know? Like, I never would have done that. What was she thinking?
Why would you split the party like that?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I would show up on Reddit and fight them.
Guys,
how do you guys feel after that game?
Oh my God. I'm
Oh
glad
my
we're playing on
God.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be able to wait a whole week.
I'm making an Anon Tumblr account to engage in discourse.
Yeah.
Hard, how do you feel?
Man. Man, Marsibil is just looking at Eddie like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, why would you do that?
In his head, what he's thinking is this is the fastest way I'll be able to get to the others. We're gonna move better in a bigger group. Like with 4 extra people, that is a lot of people that we can help take out people with.
Also, sold out.
And also, yeah, that, but also we're not having to go through 3 other floors where we could risk getting more injured, you know? And we're not gonna do very well killing, like, a bunch of people with 2 broken arms and a missing leg, you know?
That's fine. But, you know...
My fear of corpses is not gonna do very well in a murder game.
Mm-hmm.
No, not really.
I kill someone and I go, oh, what the fuck? How did that get there?
Oh my god.
Quickest way to become insane.
Yeah. I don't know what your
think-
husband looks like, I forgot.
His name's John. That's all you need.
How many Johns do you think there are?
John Garland. He
Sorry.
speaking French. He's the only one that will answer. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You just start screaming Sacre Bleu
actually,
and shit like that.
Actually, everyone is Canadian, guys. Everyone is Quebecois in the killing game.
Yeah, I know. You
Yeah,
made
I'm just killing my own kind.
Yeah, you made that one person Canadian at the start of the session. I was like, what the fuck, man? That's the scariest thing that happened the whole game.
Was she Canadian? Damn.
Yeah, you
Yeah, she was
missed it.
Canadian.
I know you would have gotten freaked out, so I'm glad you missed it.
Oh my god. I think, okay, Jean-Marie's reasoning at first was, I feel like a big, ugly mark in my forehead would kind of complicate my life a bit. Which sounds superficial, but if you think about it, it would complicate her life a lot.
How so?
She's not trying to leave this thing to, like, get thrown into another asylum for, what was, like, the woman disease? Hysteria? Yeah. Or something like that. Like, the goal here was to get her husband back and be able to rejoin society the way it was. But then, like, Adrian...
Go on. Sorry.
No, I thought about it for a few seconds. John Marie didn't even think of it. I don't think she would get bangs. And then she was like, well, that's stupid and superficial. I'm listening to what Adrian is saying. And maybe I should do this for my husband. But then she asked Marcel, fuck! Marsibil! I'm so sorry! Oh.
It's okay, Fallon.
Alright, guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jean-Marie, you watch as Marsibil turns into an elf and suddenly becomes very, very hungry.
No!
Oh my god!
Hartman, can you do a Marcel impression real quick?
You're blonde.
Whoa, hey! That's the only thing I know of that character.
Hey man, so true. She's gay, but I like Marcel a lot. I don't want her to get replaced by fucking Marcel.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching another episode of Succumbing. I am going to... Yeah, I'm gonna hope and pray that you guys survive this campaign, because holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Also pray for me now that I have to do like 2 narratives at the same time.
Sorry, Zach.
It's fine.
My bad.
I will manage. You know what? Maybe I will kill your husband tomorrow. I'm kidding.
Dude,
Oh my god.
Calamity's coming back in a month. I have a lot of time to prepare on how to knock out Mason on the first session we're back.
Well, you know what? At least it'll be worth it, alright? I may not have my hot hembo, but I will have my hot sweet revenge.
No, like, kill Peter or something. You know, he hasn't shown up yet. I don't know how much I care about him in-game yet. Out of game. In-game,
I'll see what I
Eddie
can
would
do
be
with...
devastated. Don't kill him, I'll feel sad. Eddie deserves to be happy.
I'll see what I can do with making you like him within like 2 or 3 sessions.
It's okay. I'll love him either way.
Alright.
What is our catchphrase for this episode?
But yeah. I'll wing something and you guys can follow after me, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this episode. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, depending on your time zone. And yeah, always remember.
And remember,
Marsibil is an elf.
No!
Stop!